I'd like to call this meeting of the Oldsmar City Council to order on this Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020. I'd ask that we all rise for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by our city attorney. But prior to that, I'd ask that the chamber and the council humor me for a moment of silent meditation, moment of silence. We lost a county leader this past week, Patty Johnson, who was the council member in Pinellas Park, a dear friend and to many of us, and a leader in the county. And her and I grew very close this past year. And there's many things that the city is working on that she heard about months and months ago when her and I used to spend time chatting. So if you would, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Tom.
Our Heavenly Father, as the citizens of the city of Oldsmar meet together to address our local concerns and opportunities, we give thanks to you for the bounty that we enjoy in all aspects of our community life. We ask for your inspiration to strive for excellence in our endeavors to serve the public. Grant us peace in our world and harmony between all people to your greater glory. This we pray.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. The next item on the agenda is our Citizens Open Forum, but before we do that, I do want to recognize and ask that they stand. We were bragging about the hard work that this committee has been doing, and our legal counsel pointed out to me that we have quite a few here from our Ordinance Review Committee tonight, and I'd just like them to stand and receive a round of applause. Where are they all at? Greatly appreciate your hard work and are grateful that you're prepared and all the time that you put into it. It makes a big difference. So with that, we're going to go ahead and have the Citizens Open Forum. Only a few rules. Number one, we ask that you speak to nothing that's a public hearing. We have no public hearings on the agenda tonight. Very good. And so you could speak about anything. You have 5 minutes, and we ask that you state your name and your address, including your city, state, and zip code for the record. I'm going to start on this side of the room. Is there anybody on this side of the room who wishes to? Very good. We've got a great audience tonight. I'm going to go over to this side of the room. Is there anybody? And there she is, the poet laureate.
Hello again. Amanda, 135 East Lake Club Drive, Oldsmar, Florida.
Does Amanda have a last name?
Yes. Butler, yes, Amanda Butler, 135 East Lake Club Drive, Oldsmar, 34677. Now, the last time I was here, I challenged you all to write a haiku. Does anyone have a haiku here for me? If not, that's totally okay. And I can expand the deadline and we can read some haikus next time.
I would bet that the vice mayor is prepared.
Yep, she raised her hand. She did.
Is she?
I am predictably prepared.
I don't have a haiku. I have an excuse.
Excuse.
It's quite the same thing.
I don't have a haiku or an excuse.
That's okay. I'll extend the deadline and we
In and
can.
of itself. Now, I don't know if it meets the rules, but like you said, with haikus, there really are no rules anymore. So
Exactly.
here we go. I was inspired by the first Touch a Truck event that we had a couple weekends ago, and I'll talk about that later. But here goes. Sunshine dances above, the laughing children rejoice. Spring blooms near trucks.
I love it.
Very good. Very good. I got to do that, right?
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I brought a poem that I believe is very relevant, and I wrote it with relevance in mind.
Excellent.
It's called PSA. There's something in the air expected to float among us. We must take every possible step to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Wash your hands for 20 seconds, especially returning from a public place. Do not forget to wash your phone, and please avoid touching your face. Take the same precautions as you would the flu. Don't purchase a face mask because nurses need them too. Hand sanitizer works as well if the alcohol is over 60%. For your health and that of others, this has been a Poets Service announcement.
Very good.
Thank you. And so for the next month, you can either write a haiku, or the other optional challenge is to write a poem about something that you want to say to Oldsmar.
That's excellent. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We
That's all I have.
appreciate your hard work. Is there anybody else on this side of the room? Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the Citizens Open Forum. The next item on the agenda is our Community Minute, which will be announced by our City Clerk, Ann Nixon.
Well, just like we're meeting here today, we're meeting here tomorrow at 4 o'clock for the Oldsmar Town Center work session. We haven't had a work session for a while, so now we're going to have another one on the town
Is that
center.
a shot?
So City Council will hold a work session tomorrow, right here, March 4th, 4 o'clock, in the council session work session room, and we open it up and learn some more about what's going on. So come on by. On March 14th is a busy, busy day. We're having a spacecraft launch and grand opening. So Oldsmar is the official launch site for the socially engaging traveling art project in Pinellas County, designed to create and build a sense of community together. Because, you know, we have a sense of community here, so we got a shot at it. Grand opening is Saturday, March 14th, 10 o'clock a.m. next to City Hall. So you'll notice there's some big colored boxes out there. It starts with that, and it just gets better. So keep an eye out as they paint them up. Programs will run that day until 2 o'clock. It's going to be stellar. That's what they're
I see
saying.
what
It's
you
going to
did
be
there.
stellar. You know, it's a really busy day around here on March 14th, because there's also the Rod Run at Ari Olds Park, which is the first car show, and it benefits Oldsmar Cares. And there's also this huge, fantastic yard sale at the Oldsmar Women's Club right next door. What are the hours for that?
We're going to be there out and early at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. with lots
Probably
of
until
really
about
good
2.
stuff. Lots of really good stuff. And of course, March 17th, I wouldn't recommend coming here because we've rescheduled the council meeting. That's the alert on that. And we moved that to March 24th because at 6 o'clock, we're going to have our canvassing board meeting and swearing in, and that always has food and cake. So come back here on the 24th for cake. That's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of additional new agenda items. The only new item that we have is item 6. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify aye. Nope, we have discussion.
I wanted to pull one for discussion.
There's only one new item.
Oh, we're just doing new items. Okay, so it must be the next thing.
Oh. The next thing, you talk about tentative agenda?
Consent docket.
Consent docket.
Okay, wait till we get there. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing that's all right. Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda, awards and recognition. Firefighter oath and pinning. TJ Hodge. Our city clerk always gets this honor, so I will call her up to take over.
Hey, TJ, come on up.
Bring the family.
The family.
It's a family event.
Bring on,
Yeah.
everybody.
Family.
All right.
Okay.
Is there a mark?
There's no, just on your, get set and we'll go, and you just repeat what I say.
Okay.
And then, and mean it, because we know you mean it. Yeah, and then afterwards, we'll try not to stick you with that.
Yeah, it's tricky.
I, TJ Hodges,
I, TJ Hodges,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
to uphold the laws
to uphold the laws
and Constitution
and Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the city of Oldsmar.
and the city of Oldsmar.
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
protecting our citizens' lives,
protecting our citizens' lives,
health, homes, and property.
health, homes, and property.
I pledge to accomplish our mission
I pledge to accomplish our mission
through education,
training,
and the commitment to accountability
and the commitment to accountability
and respect.
and respect.
I pledge to accept
with honor
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of firefighter
of firefighter
for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
CJ, who'd you bring with you? Who's here? Yeah. Ella. Oh, she is. That's awesome. Lion King.
Our next item is the oath and pinning for Stephen Kolakowski. Stephen?
These kids are so
Daddy. I, Stephen Kolakowski,
I, Stephen Kolakowski,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
to uphold the laws and Constitution
to uphold the laws and Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the city of Oldsmar.
and the city of Oldsmar.
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
protecting our citizens' lives,
protecting our citizens' lives,
health, homes, and property.
health, homes, and property.
I pledge to accomplish our mission
I pledge to accomplish our mission
through education,
through education,
training,
training,
and the commitment
and the commitment
to accountability and respect.
to accountability and respect.
I pledge to accept with honor
I pledge to accept with honor
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of firefighter
of firefighter
for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Where's all the fire department? Come on up and do a little photo op.
Stephen, who'd you bring with you? Oh my goodness.
Your wife and your daughter.
You guys are gonna have to.
Okay, can everyone see me and smile? Like, 2, 3.
Fire rescue personnel have some cute kids.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The future's looking good.
Yeah.
The future is looking good, that's for sure. Congratulations to both of you and welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All right, the next item on the agenda, item number 3, presentation of business of the quarter for the first quarter 2020. Unfortunately, the recipient was unable to attend tonight because of their business. So we will catch them on the next time. I did neglect to recognize somebody. Please recognize special guest in the audience, past mayor, Mayor Doug Beavis. Doug is now working with the chamber, so he said to me, he goes, you know, I'm coming to every meeting from now on. So you don't really have to introduce me every time. And I said, Mayor, every time you're here, I'm going to introduce you. That's just the way it is here. So I'm glad you're here, sir. The next item on the agenda is the Community Redevelopment Agency. We have no items tonight, so I'll go on to the consent docket. We have to read the consent docket, our city clerk.
Item number 4, approve minutes of the February 4th, 2020 City Council meeting. And item number 5, approve minutes of the February 18th, 2020 City Council meeting.
Is there anybody who wishes to pull anything?
Yes, 4 for discussion.
We'll pull item number 4, so therefore the chair will entertain a motion to vote on item number 5. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Item 4, Councilmember Norris.
I just wanted to clarify something in the, on page 13 of 98. When I asked the staff if we had any soil samples done, it wasn't in relation to the 80% pervious surface versus 20%. the 80% impervious versus 20% pervious, and the statement kind of links the two. I know that it's 80% impervious. My question, and forgive me if I didn't make it clear when I was making my statements at this particular meeting, but my question was the soil tested so that we didn't have the same issue that happened with Oldsmar Cares, the soil tested in order to make sure that it is pervious enough. So if we could just clarify that.
Would you like to propose language?
Oh, gosh, I didn't know you were going to ask me that.
We're going to vote on it, so we'll do it
Okay,
as amended.
so Norris asked if soil testing has been done to ensure the impervious surface ratio. Okay, so is below the maximum allowable ISR of 80. That wasn't the question. Have soil testing been done to ensure the, I guess, maybe integrity of the pervious surface portion of the site?
Okay, could you restate that?
Probably not.
All right, I'm going to ask two questions. Number one, before we read it as it's amended, that,
Al might be able to help, because I talked to him about it today.
well, that, yeah, so what we would do is strike impervious surface ratio is below the maximum allowable ISR of 0.80.
Yeah, that's not, I knew what the pervious
And we would
versus
replace
impervious
it with
was.
integrity of pervious surface
Of the site.
of the site.
The integrity of the soil of the impervious surface of the site,
The
correct.
integrity of the soil of the pervious surface of the site.
The pervious surface, so
That's what I
that we
said.
don't, yeah, because what happened with Oldsmar Cares was underneath something caused it not to be as pervious.
Okay, prior to we
as we wanted.
take a motion to amend it, I am going to ask whether or not it has any bearing on the answer that was provided by Nan.
She answered a question that I already knew the answer to. I knew that the pervious surface was, she answered it correctly. You answered correctly that the impervious surface is 20% and the 80% and the pervious surface is 20, and that is within code. So you answered that correctly, and forgive me if I'm the one that confused it by not stating it properly, which is completely and totally possible.
Are you familiar with what we're discussing right now?
Not specifically, I don't have it in front of me, the language in front of me. I do know you asked me last week about, was the soil tested and was there going to be drainage issues? And I said, it meets code.
Okay, so
So it doesn't change the outcome of the answer. Okay, thank you. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the amendment. We're going to first vote on the amendment. I'll accept a motion to accept the amendment. Is there one?
can I
You
do
can
my
make it.
own motion? Yeah. So
Do I have a second? Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The amendment passes. Now I'll go back to the main motion.
Thank you.
The chair will entertain a motion to accept item number 4 as amended. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
All opposed, motion passes. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is City of Oldsmar. Item number 6, presentation of Government Finance Professionals Week proclamation. And our short timer is going to present that. Our council member Grimes, since she's only up here to the election, after the election. Right after the election?
This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
The end of the show.
Yep.
For now.
End of the line.
End of the line.
Wait till we get to comments, it's gonna be trouble. She will certainly provide her poem early on, say something you'd like to say to Oldsmar.
pass
I
that
just
one.
sense that's coming.
Yes. All right. Government Finance Professionals Week. Whereas the Florida Government Finance Officers Association is a professional association founded in 1937 and serves more than 3,300 professionals from state, county, and city governments, school districts, colleges, and universities, special districts, and private firms. And whereas the FGFOA is dedicated to being your professional resource by providing opportunities through education, networking, leadership, and information. And whereas this inaugural Government Finance Professionals Week, sponsored by the FGFOA and all of its member governmental organizations is a week-long series of activities aimed at recognizing government finance professionals and the vital services that they provide to our state and our community. And whereas during this week, government finance professionals throughout the state of Florida will be acknowledged for their hard work, dedication, and leadership. Therefore, I, Councilmember Sandy Grimes, on behalf of the Mayor, Eric Seidel, of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim March 16th through the 20th, 2020, as Government Finance Professionals Week in the City of Oldsmar, and extend our appreciation to all government finance professionals throughout the state and here in Pinellas County and the City of Oldsmar for their hard work, dedication, and leadership. Dated this 3rd day of March, 2020.
Our Director of Finance team come up. All of our financial professionals who do such a good job for us. I'm going to move out of the way.
Brains of the whole outfit right there.
Very good. Thank you very much. You're welcome. About time finance gets a little recognition there, you know? Bean counters back there. Keep us going. Item number 7 on the agenda, approve appointment of Amber Stevens to the Leisure Services Advisory Board. Amber, come up.
Feeling the clapping.
Oh, gotcha. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Mayor, but I do have some concerns. I was really bothered by the meeting I was at and all the questions they asked me. It was like, I want to say almost 2 hours long, and I had a baby strapped to me. And it just grilled me, and the questions were ridiculous.
Wow,
Can
wait
we
till you
try to do something about that in the future?
We will try very hard.
Already trying to improve this.
You know, right away, I will tell you up here, we don't ask a lot of questions, typically speaking. So, you know, because
2 hours.
2 hours. Were they hard questions?
Yes.
What were some of the questions?
90? No.
90 minutes.
You're out of order, Ken. Out of order.
Fuck, sir.
So what were some of the questions?
Where was I born?
That was a question?
Yes.
Where were you born? Where were you born? How'd you answer?
I said I was born in the United States of America.
Wow, that was pretty defined right there. Leaves it wide for interpretation. Well, we appreciate your service. We won't ask you a lot of questions. I told you about the dancing part, though, right?
I did get a small memo about that.
Right, okay. Dancing or singing, either?
I don't think you guys know how to floss.
Well,
Okay, we're
so I
gonna
might
go
have to.
with neither.
technically, Amber and
I like
Holly have
that.
done both.
You, Mayor.
You're gonna teach me how to floss. I have some dental floss up there, if that's what you're talking about. Anyhow, any questions?
Just thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you. I'm very
Where's
honored
Holly?
to be here.
All joking aside.
Holly's
Can we
up
say
here.
hi to Holly?
Yes, she could teach you the floss too if she likes.
you?
Holly, would you like to come up here?
No. She's like, no.
Okay.
They're gonna keep me up there for, oh, she's
Yeah.
coming, come on up.
Full disclosure, they live 2 doors down from me.
Ah,
And Holly
Aw.
and her mom were actually singing and dancing in the talent show previously. So we already have proof of her talent.
very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you for your service. We do appreciate it very much. The chair will entertain a motion.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, council.
Next item on the agenda, approve appointment of Ken LaCroix to the Leisure Services Advisory Board. Where's he at?
Good evening.
How are you?
Hanging in there. Yeah, trying to.
When I read this, I had to read it twice. I wasn't sure what was going on here. So what motivated you to want to serve on the advisory board?
Well, I applied for it probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I was in a time where I was looking at everybody and what they do at the parks and stuff with all the recreation and things like that and the time people were giving up to it. I gave up a lot of time to Oldsmar BMX and soccer while my kids were younger. And they're growing out of a lot of it, so I might as well give back while I can. And I've been a resident for 20 years, and I've used everything, and I've enjoyed everything the city's had to offer. So I thought it'd be a good time to give something back.
Well, good. Well, good. Now, you know when you serve on this board, because we've been in we've been in one meeting recently where, you know, I like when citizens voice their concern, but it makes you an advocate of the city, which I think you are.
Yeah, oh yes, by far.
And so, okay, we expect that. Okay, all right, good. Is there any questions up here?
Where were you born? I'm kidding.
Do you sing or dance?
I do neither.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, I'm originally from Massachusetts, if you couldn't tell with the accent.
Well, were you born in the U.S.? I mean, you know, since we're really keeping the scope pretty wide tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, very good. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, sir. Thank you for your service. Next item on the agenda, number 9, approve appointment of Kathleen Schecker as alternate member of the Code Enforcement Board. Come on up.
Hello. I didn't get a questionnaire like she did, so I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong.
Oh, well, we're not done yet. You realize that every third person we insist on a dance.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't danced in high school, so I'm not sure that would be good. And I only sing in the shower. So
Well,
either that or late at night in our friend's garage when
We
we're
will
doing
leave
karaoke.
that for Bob, okay? All right, is there is there a motion to approve first?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Discussion. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
What did you do for a local contractor? What was your
I
position?
was a secretary, financial. My ex-husband, was a contractor here in Oldsmar. And so I worked for him for like 20 years.
And now you work for the school board?
I work for Oldsmar Elementary.
Okay.
She has been, I will tell you, she's been an activist here in the community for years and years. I remember back when I was first on council. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember when you broke your neck.
Yep, I remember too. But I was fairly new, and Kathleen came to the council, this was probably 2007?
Probably.
2000
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And she expressed the concern that Pinellas County School Board was changing their busing policy, and we had quite a few kids who were walking in a very unsafe environment, and I think the mayor at the time would have been Jim Roniker, Mayor Roniker. And she said, is there anybody who can go to their safety meeting? And we asked when was it? She says tomorrow at 7 a.m. And so I went.
Yep,
And I
yeah, you
went.
did.
And it didn't really help, though, did it?
No, it didn't. But we have lots of crossing guards now.
We
so-
do now. We do now. So
Yeah.
she's been doing a lot in this community for a long time, and will make a great asset to that board. So sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations and thank you. City Attorney,
Nothing tonight, thank you.
great report. City Manager,
Thank you, Mayor. Item 10 is authorize the city attorney to prepare ordinances for LUZ 20-01, the West Oldsmar Properties number 17 for land use and rezoning. This is a standard practice of ours where we attempt to make the current land use and rezoning designations, which currently reflect unincorporated Pinellas County, match the City of Oldsmar designations prior to the actual annexation into the city. The planning board met and voted in favor of the move 7-0, and the staff report with the details, including the staff recommended approval, is attached. Said that a little screwy, sorry.
it's all good. Recommendation to approve, right? Was that the end of your report?
Yes, sir.
It was good. It was a good report. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item number 11.
All right, let's try that again. Item
Another
number 11,
chance.
authorize the city attorney to prepare ordinances for LUZ 20-02. Also, West Oldsmar Properties number 18 for land use and rezoning. Again, it's a standard practice of ours to change the current land use and zoning designations that currently reflect unincorporated Pinellas County to match our own prior to the annexation into the city of Oldsmar. Again, the planning board met on February 12th and voted 7-0 in favor, and the recommended motion would be to authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance amending the land uses from county designation of residential low medium to city of Oldsmar designation of residential urban for Block 9, Lot 13, and Block 10, Lot 12, West Oldsmar, Section number 1, and staff recommends approval.
That was a much better job.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I make a motion to
I have a
approve.
motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item number 12.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 12 is authorize the city attorney to prepare a resolution changing the name of the road going through the Oldsmar Sports Complex and connecting Tampa Road and Curlew Road from Windward Place, its current name, to Winner's Way. City staff noted Windward Place, the name of the road connecting Tampa Road and Curlew Road and going through the Oldsmar Sports Complex does not reflect Oldsmar or the sports complex. There are no addresses in the city of Oldsmar using the Windward Place name. There's another road named Windward Place in East Lake Woodlands, which is not physically connected with the Windward Place going through the complex. It's possible that renaming the road going through the Oldsmar Sports Complex could reduce confusion between the two roads. The Leisure Service Advisory Board discussed potential names for City Council to consider and recommends Winner's Way for the new name. The Technical Review Committee did not need to review the recommendation as there are no addresses or properties affected by the recommended name change. The mechanism to change the name is a resolution, as I previously mentioned, and once a resolution is adopted, city staff will transmit the resolution to the county once approved for mapping and emergency services.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just, I think it's one of those things
Vice Mayor.
like thank you, Mayor. I think it's kind of like paint colors. I saw Winner's Way and I was like, not a fan. Not a fan. I'm going to go with the sports analogies. Not a fan. I thought just leave
I
it.
saw what you did.
You saw what I did there. Okay. I thought just leave it Windward Place, but that's just me. It's not particularly, a make or break kind of thing. I just
Are there any other
didn't love Winner's
comments?
Way.
Councilmember Siraki.
I knew you were going to do that.
Thank you, Mayor. I was talking to Al about it. I think when you come off Curler Road and you go down that road, we need a lighted sign. Winner's Way. Take them down that road.
So I
There's where
take
the
it you
winners
speak in
are.
favor of the motion.
I love it.
Councilmember Norris.
I think that the biggest reason that I'm for this is that there's a Windward Place in East Lake Woodlands, even though it's not within the city limits. It's still kind of confusing. So I'm for it.
Very good. Councilmember Grimes, anything to add?
No, not at this time.
Not at this time.
Nope. I'm good.
All right, well, you're good. Personally, I like it, and plus I appreciate when one of our committees work on something and they discuss it and they go through the process. And so therefore, when they come out with it, I appreciate the effort they put into it because that's what they do for us. So I'm good with it. So sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying winner.
Winner.
All opposed say loser.
Loser. You thought I wouldn't say it. You thought I wouldn't say it.
I thought for sure I had baited her just right, but the vice mayor is too quick. Item number 13.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 13 is request council approval to authorize the city manager to negotiate a contract for 2020-003 RFQ Design Services for Douglas Road Improvement Project. On October 15th, year 2019, City Council authorized the city manager to advertise 2020-003 RFQ for professional services for the design of the Douglas Road Improvement Project. This project was advertised on December 13th of 2019. On January 14th, 2020, City received 5 statements of qualifications. A selection committee convened on February 11th, 2020, and ranked the submittals based on a specific selection criteria outlined in the RFQ. The submitted statements of qualifications from all firms were complete and responsive. The selection committee ranked Kimley Horn and Associates Incorporated as the most qualified firm. The final ranking was as follows. Number 1 was Kimley Horn and Associates. Number 2 was George F. Young. Number 3 was Pannoni Associates Incorporated. Number 4 was Chen Moore and Associates. Number 5 was Absolute Engineering, Inc. Contract negotiations will be performed in ranking order until a satisfactory contract at a fair, competitive, and reasonable price is negotiated. The resulting contract will be brought back to the City Council for final approval. There's $350,000 currently budgeted in this year's budget for the project, and staff recommends approval.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Discussion. Let's get this thing going.
Get it going.
I say
Get it going.
Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item number 14.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 14 is request council approval to waive bid requirements and approve the annual purchase of IT equipment from Computers at Work doing business as VTechio under the same pricing terms and conditions as the State of Florida DMS, which stands for Department of Management Services, contract number 4321-1500 WSCA-15-ACS on piggyback form 16-002. State of Florida Department of Management Services has secured a contract available to governmental entities in Florida to provide IT-related products and equipment not previously available on state term contracts from various manufacturers via authorized retailers. The city utilizes Dell brand computers, which are available from VTechio under the state contract, in addition to various other pieces of equipment required to complete the city's network infrastructure. The State of Florida contract is currently under valid extension until March 31st, 2020. A substantial number of the city's computers are still operating under Windows 7, which is no longer supported by Microsoft. To ensure network security and enhance user experience, we will be expediting our replacement strategy and upgrading approximately 50 computers this year with new Windows 10 devices. Appropriations for the computer purchases in the amount of $40,000 have been included in the Administrative Services capital budget in the amount of $22,400, and that's for Windows 10 computers, and we're also seeking approval to issue purchase orders for the remaining $17,600 of the total of $40,000 budgeted funds. Staff recommends approval.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Can't
What's wrong with Windows 7? I mean, stick with what you
believe
done.
we've been
To be honest with you,
functioning.
no, that's not fair. I apologize. We have used Windows 7, but we use Windows 7, I think, intelligently because Windows 8 and Windows 10 have been so bad that our IT department had been capable of continuing people to use their
Coping?
operating systems with 7. It's just gotten to the point where they won't support 7 anymore. We don't have a choice. So the fact that we were using 7 doesn't mean we're obsolete.
Or
We were
not cutting
choosing
edge,
to
or-
use it because it functioned much better than 8 and 10.
Where's Adam? Where's Adam when you need him? All right, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 15.
Sorry, Mayor. Item 15, authorize the city manager to enter into a utility work by highway contractor agreement, also parenthetically known as a UWHCA, with the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, for utility adjustments associated with the Tampa Road resurfacing project. Florida Department of Transportation will be completing a resurfacing, restoration, and rehabilitation project for Tampa Road. The project will begin west of the intersection of Curlew Road and Tampa Road and continue to the east of the intersection of Tampa Road and St. Petersburg Drive. The project will consist of repaving Tampa Road, restriping lanes, adding bike lanes, pedestrian improvements, modifying medians, and improving drainage. Construction is expected to begin in July of 2020. The city has potable water, sanitary sewer, and reclaimed water infrastructure within the state right-of-way. This is an agreement with FDOT to have the contractor adjust our valves and manholes in conjunction with the project. If the city did not choose to do this agreement, then we would be responsible for those modifications prior to construction commencing. The project cost of the work is $7,173.10, will be applied to the distribution and collection operating budget in Fund 401, and staff recommends approval.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. I love that they're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody likes to go through it,
Yeah.
but somebody asked the question, why are they doing that on Tampa Road? It looks like it's in good shape. It's the reason it's in good shape. Stay in front of it so it doesn't get bad and playing catch-up. Anyhow, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. I'm going to ask the city manager just to make a few comments regarding the coronavirus and some of where the city's involved and so forth.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a prepared statement reflecting what we've done to this point. City of Oldsmar is monitoring and actively participating in the Pinellas County Emergency Management Team, which includes both the Pinellas County and State of Florida Departments of Health. The Department of Health, along with local providers, have dedicated professionals that are well-equipped to lead Florida's response. We support the State of Florida Department of Health efforts and will follow the guidelines as established by the department in coordination with the CDC to control the spread of COVID-19, or as we know it, the coronavirus, and to educate the public on prevention. For up-to-date information, please visit www.floridahealth.gov. The city's emergency operations team command staff has already participated with Pinellas County in what's known as a rock call today, and we will follow along with whatever provisions are made for us to be involved in as long as that lasts. We've already met with our department heads to discuss what we'll be doing as an organization and to handle organizational needs as the situation progresses.
Very good. I asked the city manager to just comment on, I've had a couple people ask, you know, we don't want to over-alarm anyone, we don't want to under-alarm anyone, we just want to keep it consistent. But the point is that the city is certainly staying abreast to what's going on, they're monitoring it, they're staying in the loop, they're active in calls. The truth is, the lead organization in this on the local level is the way things are set up. It's actually the county health department, and so we follow their lead, but we're completely plugged into it. And so that's, you know, that's essentially the update. And so I appreciate the city manager providing that.
Thank you.
City clerk.
I don't have anything.
Another good report. City council. She's good. And you know what? She did not give me anything for the tentative agenda to update at the end. She gave me back what I gave her, so it's going to be on me later. All right, item number 16. Approve April 28, 2020, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Armature Works for the City Council Annual Planning Conference. So I don't know that I need a motion to accept that, do I? No.
It's always nice to.
To have one, so there's consensus, more than a
Consensus. I like that word, consensus. Tom knows that.
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you. I'll look for a second. Vice Mayor, all right. Any discussion? Is everyone, that date works out?
Yes.
Date works.
Excellent. You know the vision here, obviously. You know, it's a direction that we're trying to head in, so we're trying to kind of do some planning in those types of environments and feel the vibe. All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 17, approve the tentative agenda for March 24, 2020. Is there anybody who wishes to pull anything from the tentative agenda?
Just a correction, page 96 of 98. It says appoint vice mayor for March 24, 2020 through March 16, 2020.
Typo. They fixed, yeah, they fixed it.
2021.
I'm so bummed that you beat me to that. You have no
On
idea.
page 96 of 98.
Sorry.
One sentence behind.
Let me.
That's true.
Appoint Vice Mayor.
So this should be 21, 2020.
Just, it's the wrong year.
Appoint Vice Mayor, okay.
Would it be 2021?
It would
Yep.
be.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Not 2020.
All right, so the chair will entertain a motion to accept the following amendment on page number 96 under City Council to change the appointment period to March 16, 2021.
So moved.
Do I have a second? A motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the amendment passes. All right, so does anybody have anything they wish to add to the tentative agenda? The chair will entertain a motion. He'd also request to add to the tentative agenda proclamation for Vietnam Veterans Day. add that to the next agenda. So the chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
To add that to the agenda and accept the, well, the amendment was passed, so we don't have to do that again. So the chair will entertain a motion to approve
So moved.
the tentative agenda as amended. Do I have a second? Vice Mayor, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is council comments. And tonight, I am going to start with Councilmember Saraki.
Wow, thank you, Mayor. I don't have much, but I do want to mention that I did attend the Keep Pinellas Beautiful event in St. Pete yesterday at the Gandy Bridge. I was invited by Patricia, who I see on our desk here. We are now a proud member of that. Keep Pinellas Beautiful. I met her at the Suncoast League of Cities board meeting luncheon 2 weeks ago, and she invited me out. And I just wanted to say that was a pretty amazing event, how many people actually showed up to clean the beaches. There must have been about 80 to 90 people, a lot from the college. And it was just an amazing event just to see everybody there come out early in the morning to take part in cleaning Pinellas County. So I'm glad that the city of Oldsmar is involved in that, and I just wanted to share that, Mayor, and that's really all I have today.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, it's good that we become official members of the organization. So Councilmember Norris.
I got a couple things. The first thing I want to do is extend prayers to the family of Steve McFadden. A lot of you know that we lost an employee that was here for 28 years, and Al attended the services for us. And I just wanted to say 28 years is amazing. He will be missed, and just prayers for his family. And then two great events, Touch a Truck, which Vice Mayor Gannon's already talked about. I met people from all over Tampa, West Chase, Lutz, Tampa, and they were so grateful that we had such a great event so close to where they live. They didn't have to drive to Largo, or they didn't have to drive to Clearwater, and it was wonderful. And everyone that was at Oldsmar Cares Gala, you guys all know, it was wonderful. I also wanted to thank Felicia and Al I got to sit in as a public member. I couldn't talk, which I didn't, really, on the presentations for the climate resilience studies, the 4 companies that were, and how they ranked them. And I was so impressed at the level of the depth of intelligence of the questions from Felicia and Chip and Jonna and Ashley, right? Those were the 4. And it was very nice to be able to sit in on that. So I wanted to say that. Couple more things. The VFW Auxiliary is, Commander Bear already came and let you guys know that it's official, that we are chartered, and there is going to be an event that's going to be open to the public. And I'll give you guys invites ahead of time, but if you want to write it down, it's going to be on April 5th at 4 o'clock. Tentative location is Oldsmar Cares. They just have to check their schedule to make sure that we can have it. So from 4 to 5 is going to be refreshments, and then 5 o'clock is going to be the swearing in of the officers. And it's kind of a big deal because we're the newest VFW auxiliary. So VFW members will be there, veterans will be there. Hopefully you guys will all be there. And there's a few people in this room that are going to be sworn in, but we'll wait for that day. But it's definitely going to be on 4/5/20. Potentially at Oldsmar Cares, but I'll let you guys know. And I want to end with mine and the city's enduring gratitude for Councilmember Sandy Grimes stepping up, and with her busy life, and you see her all over the community anyway. Oh, but she went ahead and took this on as a volunteer. So the enduring gratitude of the city council and the city, and that's what I want to end with tonight. So thank you, Sandy. And thank you, Mayor, for appointing, for recommending her, because you did an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
I agree, I second that. Sandy, great job.
Ditto, right?
I gave Councilmember Saraki the nod there because I knew he wanted to say. Vice Mayor.
I especially wanted to highlight Felicia Donnelly, our Assistant City Manager's contribution to this Touch a Truck event. And I know it's been mentioned twice, but this was a really big deal. It was hugely successful. there were hundreds, and I'm not estimating, you know, or overestimating it. There were hundreds of kids there, and a lot of little kids, a lot of young families. The playground, the Richard Rogers playground behind the firehouse was overrun with families. People were running back and forth, lined up in front of helicopters and the Kaiser, the walking, you know, tractor. It was unbelievable, and it was low cost. I don't know if you guys know the contributions that our fire rescue personnel put into this. All of the food was donated. I'm talking about ice cream, sub sandwiches, pizza. I mean, everybody was fed and thrilled with it. The staff time that went into this, I think it was well worth it. It's my sincere hope that this becomes an annual event. I hope Chris Caberna's little miniature house that the kids were allowed to spray with the fire hose survived the event so that we can use it again and again. It was fantastic. As an attendee, as a mom, as a council member, I was beaming with pride in our staff. And thank you so much to Felicia for putting that all together. It was fantastic. Chip, I see you smiling back there. Chip and his family showed up with the dog, and thank you so much to our chief. I see you smiling. He's kind of blushing back there. Thank you for all of the hard work that all of you put into that event. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Sandy Grimes, I'm not gonna cry, but in this very short period of time, I feel like I have grown to know you for a lifetime. You are a fantastic woman, a fantastic council member. I have been absolutely privileged to sit next to you at these meetings and so many events since November in these past 6 short months, but I am so grateful for you. And thank you for serving this council and for serving this city. I hope that your canvassing board experience will not be your last experience close to this area. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you for your sweet words.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, Mayor.
Let's see. Well, that wraps up all the, oh, wait. Councilmember Grimes.
Yes, last time I will hear that. I just, want to thank everyone, thank the community, thank the mayor for nominating me for this. It's been a privilege. It's been an honor. It's been overwhelming at times, very overwhelming. You think you know your city. You don't know your city. You don't. It's just been a great privilege. I've learned so much. I love my city even more. And all of you, you've been great. Thank you. It's been fun.
Very good. And I do have a few items. I want to talk about something real quickly, just what I'm going to call, we talked about this at the beginning of the year, what I kind of referred to as council coverage, right? And what I mean by that is a little bit of coordination on what events are covered, what's not. I'm going to say this and may upset some people, but it's the truth. We can't go to every event, and nor is it really our goal to go to every event. That's not the job of the city council. We love going to events. That's probably part of the problem of the city council, that we're all over the place. And I'm going to brag on this council once again, because I was struck the other day. It was week before last. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but we had like 8 or 9 events going on in 1 week. We were all at the Little League. It's the first time I remember for opening day that we had every council member there. We were all at the gala. We were all at the putting into service of the new rescue vehicle.
Little League.
It's the Little League. And
a meeting.
we had a meeting that day, which was council, you have city hall meetings. And so And then there was a first responders dinner that week that some of us went to. There were some of us who went to the touch truck and so this council is working very hard. And I know somebody expressed some displeasure that we didn't have a council member at an event that was recently taken place over in Golair, which we all love going to Golair. But, I'm going to kind of dial back a little bit from a more practical management standpoint and suggest that we all really communicate when we are going to attend an event with the assistant city clerk.
Okay.
And kind of set the expectations. If it's covered, that's the goal. And what I'll do is if I don't plan on attending or I'm unable to attend an event as mayor, or if the vice mayor is not able to be there, then I would ask, even if there's multiple people there, I would ask one person in particular to kind of serve as the point person, the ambassador on behalf of the mayor, if I'm not there, so that we can kind of keep coverage, council coverage as I like to call it, and also stay focused on the work that we have at hand. The next item I have is just a comment on tomorrow we have the workshop. So I'd ask everybody if there's one thing that you can do to make the workshop run a little smoother. I know it's tomorrow, but just make sure you've reviewed kind of the concept plan, specifically the areas and what might be referred to as phase 2. What are the items that we've talked about? We're going to cover them tomorrow. We're going to have an update on where we're at. We're going to hear from Simone Development Group. And so they have if you'll recall when we had our last workshop, they had some changes that kind of dropped in front of us. So they're going to be there to discuss those changes, and we're going to get to discuss it with them. And I think that'll be interesting and fun. But in any event, so make sure you're kind of up to speed, just refresh your memory so we don't have to spend a lot of time on that. I do expect the meeting will go the full 2 hours. Maybe we'll see how it goes. So anyhow, if you would, as always, please be prepared. I cannot believe I'm going to bring this up as the mayor who has constantly said when he was running, if you want another park, don't come talk to me about it because I'm not a park mayor. I'm a downtown mayor, and that's what I'm focused on, and I have 3 priorities: downtown, downtown, downtown. But I just want to float an idea. And I just kind of touched on it a little bit with Al and Felicia, but I don't really want to pursue much further. And I'm not going to put you on the spot. I just want you to think about it a little bit. So I've been approached by an organization, Wheelchairs for Kids, who's a really good organization. They're a nonprofit. They raise money and provide wheelchairs for kids, and as the name would suggest. And they go much further than that in terms of building access ramps for kids and, making life easier. Wesley Chapel has a recreation area that they have put in playground equipment that is built for kids with disabilities. And Madeline Robinson, who's the executive director of Wheelchairs for Kids, I've known for years. And so she reached out and has this momentum on wanting to find a location in Pinellas County to place and would love to see Oldsmar consider it. And I just think it'd be awesome if that we could find a place. I don't know that we can. Very seldom do I surprise staff, but surprise. But I think it'd be awesome if we could do something like that. I will also tell you, while I can't believe that I'm talking about a park for kids when we got parks, but it just kind of strikes me as like, I did talk to them about the economics of it. They have a budget. I asked them how much money they would raise, and substantially almost all of it. They're more looking at us for location, which I explained to them, even for us to evaluate it costs money, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Any thoughts?
I think it's a great idea. They're going to raise the money for the equipment and everything, and they're looking for us to donate land. Is that? I'm more asking from a 1,000-foot view, but to answer your question, the budget they presented was like a $400,000 budget, and they committed to about $350,000. And we would be looking to raise money. Gotcha.
I don't, that kind of thing, I think. but it's very preliminary. You know, any thoughts?
You're looking for a current park that we have where we could install this equipment.
Potentially. I mean, it's an issue for really to go through with staff and see if there's some opportunities, but, you know, it would require maintenance in the future. You know, the city would own it, you know, that type of thing. And I just thought it was a pretty amazing idea to be able to be more inclusive. And I wasn't going to say anything about it, but when Vice Mayor Gannon was talking about the number of people who've come from all around, you know, this city, I say it all the time when I'm out talking about our city in the public, that we're not a regional destination as a city. We're not. And I don't know that we really want to be, quite frankly, but we are a district. I would say at the very least, we are a district destination. People come from all around the area to Oldsmar to participate in our events. They shop here. You know, I'm always joking, the people over in Eastlake, well, they're at Oldsmar North. And over here in Tampa, it's just Oldsmar East. We welcome them all here. And it's part of the reason why they reached out to us. So I'll proceed to get more information specifically to staff. I'm getting the eye from some staff members, like, thank you for not telling us about this beforehand. But I did mention it, didn't I? Yes? Okay, that was a good talk. All right. Anyhow, well, I take that as there's some interest there. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next item. Just a reminder, the railroad crossing on Bayview and 580 is scheduled to be closed for, from Wednesday to Saturday, for them to redo that. So know that, take that into account. Do the happy dance for anybody who drives over it and is worried their car is going to be destroyed. So we didn't have a lot of heads up on it, but apparently we got a lot more heads up than St. Pete did. So, and of course, CSX is the one who is performing that service. A reminder, vote. We have the city elections coming up. We have some great candidates running. They work very hard. They're out pounding the pavement and knocking on doors and waving signs and putting signs out and learning about the issues and coming up with solutions. And so no matter who you vote for, please make sure you vote and honor their hard work. It is definitely hard work to run, to step up. We salute all the three candidates who are in this race to fill the unexpired term from Councilmember McGee. And so please remember to vote. I'd humbly ask that on the referendum question on there that you support that. That is I view it as a clerical mishap, if you will, that really as a result of the way the codifying takes place, that it was dropped out. And so our city attorney is certain that he's going to make sure we do it the right way. My idea was just put it back in. We never voted it out, but
His eyes say no.
his eyes say no. The reason why he is the city attorney. And I am not. All right, the last item I have on here is I want to thank Councilmember Grimes. You know, it's funny, we don't have the opportunity as council members to talk because we can't, right? About items that are going to come before council. And yet, in the end, afterwards, we realized that there were multiple of us who thought of you right away. And I have said to this woman over here for many years that I believe she belongs up here on council. She has served this community like very few who have served this community. And she is bright, she is aggressive in all the right ways. And more than anything, she cares about this community and has demonstrated that not just in her short time here on council, but over the years. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people who hope they see you back up here. And I'm not bashful about saying it. I've joked with her for years that no crimes with Grimes. I've always told her, I'm running the campaign, baby. I'm printing signs. No crimes with Grimes. You heard it here first. But I can't thank you enough on behalf of the citizens of Oldsmar, our staff up here who all feel that it's been just a pleasure to be able to work with you, your council, and most of all, your mayor. We called on you, you stepped right up, and you've done a terrific job. And while you've not been up here long, I think you've helped the council stay in the right direction. We won't talk about the horse vote again.
Sorry.
Yeah. But,
And you had me say loser, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
but you're going to be missed, and know that you are greatly appreciated for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, it's been a pleasure. And I know the three of you are out there, and I wish you all luck. And I know you'll do a great job. These people will welcome you. They will.
So I want to adjourn the meeting by giving you a standing ovation.
Yes.
So the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second. Oh, I can't
adjourn
super.
Meeting adjourned.